Is she bigger than Sabalenka? Is she bigger than Coco? Is she the big?
Because it also depends what court you're on, you know, that you feel the noise and things.
So the other day with Alex Eala, you know, that's been a talk.
I'm really happy to advance to the next round.
Aryna Sabalenka, three-time Grand Slam champion, world number one, the most dominant force in women's tennis right now. And she was sharing a practice court at Indian Wells with a 20-year-old from the Philippines. Not because the tournament scheduled it, not because they're friends, because Alex Eala has become impossible to ignore, even for the world number one. Here's what nobody in the establishment wanted to say out loud. Eala isn't just rising through the rankings. She is outdrawing Sabalenka in stadium attendance. A player ranked 31st in the world, pulling bigger crowds than the reigning world number one. Tournament directors confirmed it. Attendance numbers that exceeded every projection, sections that were half empty for other matches, completely packed the moment Eala walked on court. And Sabalenka, practicing alongside her at Indian Wells, couldn't ignore what was happening around her. The crowds, the flags, the noise, the biggest threat the WTA has ever seen was warming up on the court next to her.
I feel like, you know, people will like you for who you are if you are true to yourself. Hi everyone, I just wanted to come on here and thank every single one of you for your support, taking the time and effort out of your day to be there and cheer me on with the other girls. It means so much, especially at this time.
18 months ago, Alex Eala was ranked 140th in the world. No seeding, no coverage, no expectations. Then March 2025, Miami Open. Wild card entry? She beat Madison Keys, then she beat Iga Swiatek, the most dominant force in women's tennis. Wild card? Ranked 140th. Two top 1-0 players eliminated in 1 week. She became the first Filipino in history to reach a WTA 1000 semifinal. Monday of that week, ranked 140th. Sunday, top 100. Semifinalist. History maker. The rest of 2025 accelerated everything. First WTA 125 title in Guadalajara, ranking climbed past 70, past 60, past 50. Then February 2026. Dubai. Jasmine Paolini, seeded 8th in the world. Eala dismantled her. 6, won in the opener. Tiebreak to close. A top 8 opponent. Reduced to chasing shadows. February 23rd, 2026. Rankings updated. Alex Eala. World number 31. The highest any Filipino woman had ever climbed. In the 47-year history of the WTA, but the ranking number isn't what made Sabalenka take notice. It was the crowds. Miami 2025. Tournament staff confirmed attendance numbers exceeded every projection. Filipino flags filling sections that had been half empty for other matches. Energy inside the stadium closer to a concert than a tennis match. Then Dubai 2026. After beating Paolini, Eala stood on court and asked one question. How many of you have prayed for me? The roar that followed answered for 115 million Filipinos watching around the world. And Steve Johnson, 12-year ATP veteran, went on the Nothing Major podcast and said what the entire establishment was refusing to admit. Is she bigger than Sabalenka? Bigger than Coco? Yes. Absolute rock star. Not a future star. Not a player to watch. The biggest draw in women's tennis, right now. Today, bigger than Sabalenka. When a 12-year tour veteran says that unprompted, the world number one feels it.
Another wonderful win for Alexandra Eala. Thank you, Jasmine, she says. Paolini gracious as ever in defeat. The former champion is out. Alexandra Eala.
This is going to go down the wire, but because of the week off from Eala, I think that she might be able to cause the upset here. And Paolini is not playing that great. And unlike the Alexandrova match in Abu Dhabi where Eala got overpowered.
And then Nike made their move. Eala signed as a Nike Global Ambassador, her face on the walls of Oregon headquarters, portraits celebrating her heritage, her flag, her people, before a Grand Slam title, before a top 1-0 ranking. This is where Sabalenka's world shifted, because for decades, tennis stardom worked one way: Grand Slam titles first, commercial power second, fan armies third. Eala flipped that formula entirely. The fan army arrived before the major trophies. The Nike deal came before the ranking peaks. Tournament directors from Indian Wells to Roland Garros, tracking the same data. A player who fills stadiums regardless of seeding represents a threat that goes beyond the scoreboard. That is what Sabalenka felt on that practice court. Not just a rising competitor, a commercial and cultural force the WTA has never seen before. But let's be honest, because the story isn't complete yet. Dubai 2026 quarterfinal, Eala versus Gauff, 6-0, 6-2. No room for interpretation. Eala stood in the press conference and said it directly. The gap was pretty prominent. No deflection, no excuses. Then she added, "But I'm on the right path." 14 days later, she arrived at Indian Wells seeded for the first time in her career, practicing alongside the world number one, outdrawing the world number one in attendance. Being called the biggest threat the WTA has ever seen? The gap exists, but so does everything else she has already built. Sabalenka has beaten everyone, defended her Grand Slam titles, held the world number one ranking with an iron grip. But at Indian Wells 2026, she shared a practice court with the one player. The crowds follow like a religion. 115 million Filipinos didn't wait for the rankings. They packed stadiums before the seedings demanded respect. They believed that before belief was safe. And now the establishment, the same experts who scrolled past her name 12 months ago, are calling her the biggest threat the WTA has ever seen. Sabalenka felt it on that practice court. The tournament directors see it in the attendance numbers. Nike saw it before anyone else. The only question left: can Eala close the gap? Can the biggest draw in women's tennis become the biggest champion? Drop your prediction in the comments. And if you've been following this story since Miami, you're part of the tribe that saw it first. Subscribe, because this story is only getting bigger.